Hey YouTubers, Voice of the Composer, welcome back to my channel. It is Friday afternoon. How's everybody doing out there? Today I wanted to bridge the generational gap, talk about a piece of music from the 19th century and a piece of music from the 20th century. So in 1873, Tchaikovsky premiered his symphonic poem, The Tempest, based on the play by William Shakespeare. He was a fan of the works of Shakespeare. And in 1971, the Doors released their sixth studio album. It was the last featuring Jim Morrison, L.A. Woman. And on that album is the song Riders on the Storm. And both Tchaikovsky's The Tempest and the Doors' Riders on the Storm have many things in common. We're going to talk about that. But first, to enjoy the video of the series, please click that like button, subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram at hashtag JasonComposes. You can leave comments below. And now you can reach me at Twitter at Voice of the Composer at Twitter. So Tchaikovsky premiered his symphonic poem, The Tempest, in 1873, based on the play by William Shakespeare. And the Doors, they released their album, L.A. Woman, in 1971, which has the song Riders on the Storm. And there's a main theme you're going to find in both Tchaikovsky's The Tempest and the Doors' Riders on the Storm. And that is this theme of uncertainty. Now, Tchaikovsky follows the story of The Tempest, so we have more of a programmatic work, depicting the ship at sea, the oncoming storm, this undeniable, unbreakable love between Ferdinand and Miranda, the grotesque nature of Caliban. You can hear that in the music. Now, keep in mind, in those days, they did not have the recording technology that we have today. You did not have any sound effect tracks that you could overlay on whatever piece you were writing that you're going to put out on the air, so to speak. So Tchaikovsky had to rely on instrumentation, on his orchestration, on his skills as an orchestrator to depict this story of Shakespeare's The Tempest. And you definitely hear that theme of uncertainty, and there is conflict, there's resolution. But in the piece by the Doors, Riders on the Storm, it throws us in the middle of the storm at the beginning of the piece. And they wanted to have more of a jazz blues type riff, give it more of a darker character. And it was based on the story of picking up a hitchhiker in the desert during a thunderstorm, a cautionary tale of who do you trust, who do you not trust. And I believe one of the lines in Riders on the Storm is, we are thrown into this life like a dog is given a bone, riders on the storm. And Tchaikovsky had that same philosophy in a lot of his pieces. If you listen to his Symphony Number 4, the idea of fate, it's often called the Fate Symphony. And the fate motif would be found in many of his pieces, including Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, The Tempest. So this is a theme that artists have used throughout the centuries, whether it be the 19th century or the 20th century, whether you're talking about Tchaikovsky or groups like the Doors. But there are so many similarities between these pieces. The darker mood, this feeling of uncertainty, the ideas of love, life, conflict. But with the Doors' Riders on the Storm, there is no resolution as you listen to the piece. It's more of a dark, mysterious piece, this cautionary tale of picking up a hitchhiker in the desert during a storm. So I thought I'd share this video with you today. And I just think it's really interesting because I was on the bus and I was listening to Riders on the Storm, and I was thinking of Tchaikovsky's piece for some reason because that's one of my favorite pieces by Tchaikovsky. And I would highly recommend you check out the performance with the CSR Bratislava Symphony Orchestra off the Naxos label. So a shout out to Naxos and all the great work they do, all the great releases they have done over the years. And this release featuring The Tempest, it's probably the best performance that I've heard of that piece, and it really is a piece that packs a wallop when you listen to it. It's probably the best performance you're going to find on CD. It's not too slow, it's not too fast, it's just right, and really portrays the story of The Tempest the way Tchaikovsky would want you to hear it. And a great interpretation of this piece. And so definitely go check out that disc, which also features the Piano Concerto Number 1, music from Eugene Onegin is on there, the Waltz and Polonaise is on there. But a great performance, great CD, came out I think in the late 80s, early 90s. But when I bought that CD, it was The Tempest that really sealed the deal for me on that disc. But like I said, there are so many similarities between these two pieces. Now the keys, now I'm not too sure exactly what key Riders on the Storm is actually written in, but I do know that the bass line is written E minor, A major, E minor, A major. And originally the bass player who was in the studio recording this was having a really difficult time because apparently this is a very difficult stretch for guitars, for bass guitars, to go from E minor to A major. You're talking going from a key that's got one sharp, which is F sharp, to a key that's got, and that's in the minor, going to a major key that's got three sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. You can do that on the piano, but from what I understand, it's a lot harder for a bass guitarist or a guitarist in general to do that type of maneuvering with their fingers. So a lot of finger tricks to play that bass line from E minor to A major. Whereas Tchaikovsky's piece is written in the key of F minor, whose relative major key is A flat. And that's also the same key that Tchaikovsky wrote his Symphony No. 4 in, F minor. So it seems that that is a key that Tchaikovsky was very fond of, the F minor key. And it's one that he used to portray that whole concept of fate or uncertainty. And once again, those themes are present in both The Tempest by Tchaikovsky and in The Doors' Riders on the Storm. So I thought you enjoyed this video today. If you did, once again, please click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at hashtag Jason Composes, leave comments below, and you can also reach me at Twitter, Voice of the Composer at Twitter. So this is Voice of the Composer saying peace out. I'll catch you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and God bless this great country.